Welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this series, we will learn SQL from basics to advanced level. In the previous lecture, we see what is application and the classification of application. Okay, if you don't know what is application and you don't have any idea about it, basically in today's scenario everyone know what is application. So in that video I explain how it is built, what is the process, and I provide a clear cut definition for application, and I classify the application in three different ways, that is stand-alone application, web application, client server, and mobile application, client server slash mobile application. So these are the classification of application. So if you want to know what are these applications and the classification of application, you can watch my previous lecture. So in this video, we will learn some more terminology in a database. So let's learn what is that. Now, first is data. In the last video, I told you we learned application and classification of application. So in this lecture, we learn about data. So first I will read the definition for the data, and I will give an example to understand what data is. So the by definition we can say that data are raw facts which describes the attributes of an entity. What does it means? So for example, we have one object or entity. You can see that in this picture I have taken an example of one laptop, that is MacBook. Okay, now this laptop have some properties. What kind of properties he have, or that laptop have? Like name, brand, price, color. Okay, now we can say that data are raw facts. These properties are raw facts for any object which describe the entity. Okay, data are raw facts which describe the properties of an entity. I think I must clear what is data. Now, for example, I have one water bottle. Is in one object entity. Now, the data for that are like brand of water bottle, like Milton or something else, color of water bottle, like gray, black, blue, or we can say the shape of water bottle, and we can say price. For that raw data, which describe the attributes. Okay, so that are data. That is known as data. Let's know some new thing about that. So now we come to the one of the most important, that is database. What is database? We heard everywhere database is important. Database is important and DB is important. So what does database means? Let's get clear cut view of that. So I will read the definition first. So by definition we can say that database is a place or medium in which we store the data in a systematic and organized manner. So database is a place where people are used to store their data in a systematic and a organized manner. For example, you have one cupboard where you put your clothes. Now, for example, if you put your clothes randomly, like shirt anywhere, t-shirt anywhere, pant anywhere, socks anywhere, so when you are in trouble, when you are in hurry, so it's too difficult you to find the shirt you are finding over here. But if you make it organized way, means in one row you have put your shirts, in one row you have put your pants, and in one row you put your socks. So it will help you to take out that shirts, pant and socks very easily without any hustle. So that's why we need database. In the previous manner, we used to store data in a files format, like register format. In our school, they took attendance in register. So if I want to go and check who is absent, how many people are there, so I have to calculate them manually, which takes a lot of time. To reduce that, we make a database. So it helps big companies to store the data in a systematic manner and organized manner. So we go now. We can perform the following operations on the database. In database, we can perform some operations. What are they? First says create. We can create a table. We can create a data. We can insert a data in that. Now retrieve. We can retrieve data from the database or we can read data from the database. Third, update. We can update the existing data and we can modify that. And if someone is leave from the school, so we can say we can delete the data from the table. Why we should delete the people from a data? Because if I keep all the people who are not studying in my class, so it makes my database too large. It's take my space. So that's why. The above operations are universally known as CRUD operations. So if someone asks what are CRUD operations in database, so you must tell create, read, update and read. Okay, this is the short form which is given by which is mostly people used to ask in interview. So now let's see the diagram of database, how we can do that. Now this the blue cylindrical box is representing a database. So in that we put data. We can create a data. We can read data from that database. We can update. Now I want to change my age. So I can update my change in database with some language which will be studied in the further video. I will teach you how we can change, how we can create a data, how we can insert a data in database, how we read a data, how we read data from a database, and how we delete unwanted data from the database. Now, why we use this? As I told you, this is systematic and organized. In the decades ago, we used register to store data, which make very uh, hassle to find data, create a new data, modify that existing data, and delete data. Now let's come to the some other part. Now, okay, so let's know DBMS, Database Management System. Okay, database is something else. Database management system is some further advanced version of DBMS. Database is known as database management system. Database management system is a software that is used to maintain and manage the database. What is DBMS? DBMS is nothing, just a software which is used to maintain and manage the database. Okay, so DBMS provide two important features. What are they? They are security and authorization. Database is secure. In uh, database we have what we can store data in a systematic and organized manner. But in database management system, it provides security and authorization. These are the two important features. That's why they implemented DBMS. Instead of database, they use DBMS because DBMS is more security and authorization. So we know data is too crucial in the today's world. If, for example, I will give one example. Now, you have some data. you have bank details. Okay, so now one bank say we will provide we will provide a security and authorization to your data, but one bank say we will not provide security and authorization, but we will manage and maintain your data in a good way. So now you tell me, what should you choose, security or management? So that's why the database team will comes to other database management system, because mostly people use DBMS to provide security and authorization. That's why. Now, to communicate with a DBMS, we need query language. Okay. So to communicate with a DBMS, we need query language. Why do we need communicate to DBMS? As I told you, in database we can create, read, delete, modify the data. So to do that, we have one language that is called as query language. Okay. In DBMS, the data is stored in the form of files. In database management system, the data are stored inside a file. Okay. Now let's see the example. As we know that in database we put data over here in the form of files, and this is database. Now we introduce one more layer which provide security and authorization to that data which are present in a database, that is called as DBMS. To in database we can create, read, update and delete the data. To perform that thing in DBMS, we required one query language. That query language is nothing but SQL, structured query language. Okay, let's see something more about that. So now we have classification of database. Okay, now we can say SDBMS, hierarchical database management system, and we can say second one is NDBMS, network database management system. Now we have OODBMS, that is object oriented database management system. Now we have RDBMS, relational database management system. In most of the interview, they are going to ask these RDBMS questions only. Now, these are used by some company, different company use different database. So RDBMS is the most commonly used database in the world. I can not in the world, but it is mostly commonly used and mostly commonly asked in interview. So that's for today. So this is from my side. So I want to say, if you learn something new in this, if you have no idea about data, if you get to know what is data, what is database, how we store data in a database, what is DBMS, why DBMS is introduced. If you know anything about this, if you get to know something about this, then I must say please like my video, subscribe my channel. That's all from my side. Thank you. See you in the next lecture. Okay, bye bye, tata.